Greetings and welcome to MPH 510, Health Program Planning and Evaluation. This PowerPoint presentation covers key points from Module 1, which introduces evaluation. This presentation is not exhaustive and will not replace you completing the required readings in order to complete the assignments due for the module. Here is a brief overview of the presentation. We will begin by defining evaluation. Although there are many definitions for evaluation, your textbook uses one provided by Trocum. Evaluation is a profession that uses formal methodologies to provide useful empirical evidence about public entities, such as programs, products, performance, in decision-making contexts that are inherently political and involve multiple, often conflicting stakeholders, where resources are seldom sufficient and where time pressures are salient. Evaluation exists across several disciplines, making it transdisciplinary. However, the focus of this course is to explore evaluation significance to public health programs. Evaluation is considered to be one of the 10 essential public health services. These services describe public health activities that all communities should undertake, which includes evaluating the effectiveness, accessibility, and quality of personal and population-based health services. Evaluation can be conducted throughout the public health system, which includes public health agencies at the federal, state, and local levels, clinical settings such as hospitals, nonprofit organizations, schools, and other settings. Both the textbook and CDC's self-study guide discuss the differences and similarities between evaluation and research. Mertens and Wilson describe research as, describe the purpose of research as the creation of new knowledge and theory construction, whereas the purpose of evaluation is to support decision-making. However, evaluators and researchers use many of the same study designs, data collection methods, and analysis. Additionally, evaluation overlaps with what we call applied research. Applied research is designed to answer specific questions aimed at solving practical problems. The book describes two main types of evaluation: formative evaluation and summative evaluation. An evaluation is considered to be formative when it is conducted during the development or delivery of a program or product, with the intention of providing feedback to improve the evaluand. Formative evaluation may also focus on program plans or designs. However, a summative evaluation is one that is done at the end of or on completion of a program. Summative evaluations may be done internally or externally and typically are for the purpose of decision-making. Michael Scriven, the originator of the terms formative and summative evaluation, distinguishes summative evaluation's aim as reporting on the program rather than to the program in order to improve it. Also, the book describes two types of evaluators, an internal evaluator and an external evaluator. Internal evaluators are typically employees of the organization in which the evaluation is being conducted. An external evaluator, who often works as a consultant or a contractor, is someone who conducts an evaluation and is not an employee of the organization. Now we'll speak briefly about evaluation theory. In the next 4 modules, we'll dive deeper into this area. So we discussed the different types of evaluation, but there are also different approaches or models that describe how these evaluations should be conducted. We call these evaluation approaches or models evaluation theories. Theories provide guidance in determining the purposes of evaluations, the role of an evaluator, as well as how the evaluation should be conducted. Mark Alkin organizes the various evaluation theories into a tree with different branches. Initially, there were 3 branches: use, methods, and valuing. More recently, a 4th branch, social justice, was added. However, some have pointed out that the tree only captures the work of white Western evaluation theorists. As a result, this evaluation theory tree has been updated to include international approaches from Asia, Latin America, Africa, as well as there is an African evaluation theory tree as well. So these branches also could correspond with different paradigms. Mertens and Wilson describe paradigms as broad metaphysical constructs that include sets of logically related philosophical assumptions. So this slide, it just provides a brief overview of the major paradigms and the corresponding evaluation theories that we'll be exploring throughout this course. So a post-positivist paradigm corresponds with the methods branch. Evaluation theories that fall in the methods branch focus primarily on quantitative designs and data. They may use mixed methods, but quantitative methods typically dominate. Some of the theories included in this branch are experimental and quasi-experimental approaches, as well as theory-based evaluation. Next, pragmatic paradigm corresponds with the use branch. Evaluation theories that fall in the use branch focuses primarily on data that are found to be useful for stakeholders. Evaluations theories in this branch typically advocate for the use of mixed methods. Some of the theories included in the branch are the SIP model, utilization focused evaluation, and practical participatory evaluation. Next, a constructivist paradigm corresponds with the values branch. Evaluation theories that fall into the values branch focus primarily on identifying multiple values and perspectives through qualitative methods. They may use mixed methods, but qualitative methods typically dominate. Some of the theories included in this branch are goal-free evaluation, an assertive evaluation, and a responsive evaluation. Lastly, a transformative paradigm corresponds with the social justice branch. Evaluation theories that fall in the social justice branch focus primarily on the viewpoints of marginalized groups and interrogating systemic power structures through mixed methods to further social justice and human rights. Some of the theories included in this branch are culturally responsive evaluation, deliberative democratic evaluation, and indigenous evaluation. I just wanted to provide a brief overview of some new terms that are introduced in the readings. Each branch of the evaluation theory has a different take on these philosophical assumptions. Axiology, right, which refers to what is ethical. Ontology, which refers to what is real, or what is the nature of reality. Epistemology refers to what is considered to be valid knowledge, right? Valid knowledge of what we determine is real. And then lastly, methodology, which refers to what are considered to be the appropriate evaluation methods. Also, the various evaluation branches and the corresponding theories have implications for the role of an evaluator. Depending on the approach, the evaluator can serve as a manager, a detective, a designer, a negotiator, a diplomat, a researcher, a judge, a reporter, an advocate, and a learner. However, the role that is dominant throughout is the manager. Lastly, we'll cover some key evaluation standards and guidelines. So regardless of the type of evaluation you conduct, there are specific standards and guidelines that evaluators should follow. The first are the program evaluation standards developed by the Joint Committee on Standards for Educational Evaluation. These standards can be used to ensure and/or examine the quality of an evaluation. Utility describes how useful and appropriately used the evaluation is. Feasibility describes the extent to which the evaluation can be implemented successfully in a specific setting. Propriety describes how humane, ethical, moral, proper, legal, and professional the evaluation is. Accuracy describes how dependable, precise, truthful, and trustworthy the evaluation is. And lastly, meta-evaluation, which describes the extent to which the quality of the evaluation itself is assured and controlled. Next, the American Evaluation Association, or AEA, recommends the 5 following guiding principles for designing high-quality evaluations. Systematic inquiry describes evaluators conducting database inquiries that are thorough, methodical, and conceptually relevant. Competent, which states that evaluators provide skilled professional services to stakeholders. Integrity and honesty, which states that evaluators behave with honesty and transparency in order to ensure the integrity of the evaluation. Respect for people, which states that evaluators honor the dignity, well-being, and self-worth of individuals and acknowledge the influence of culture within and across groups. And common good and equity, which states that evaluators should strive to contribute to the common good and advancement of an equitable and just society. Lastly, the American Evaluation Association also released a statement on cultural competence and is extremely relevant when conducting evaluations, especially with diverse communities. The statement describes cultural competence not as a state at which one arrives. Rather, it is a process of learning, unlearning, and relearning. It requires awareness of self, reflection on one's own cultural position, awareness of others' positions, and the ability to interact genuinely and respectfully with others. Cultural competence is important because it is an ethical imperative. It is the right thing to do. Also, validity demands cultural competence, and theories are inherently cultural. For example, the evaluation theory tree we covered at the beginning of the presentation primarily highlighted models or approaches developed by Western white evaluators, but there are other approaches available as well. Also, the statement highlights essential practices for cultural competence when conducting evaluations. These include acknowledging the complexity of cultural identity, and that is the cultural identity of the evaluator, as well as the communities and the decision makers that are being served, recognizing the dynamics of power, recognizing and eliminating bias in language, and also employing culturally appropriate methods. This slide concludes the presentation. Again, the purpose of this presentation was to highlight key points from Module 1 and does not replace information contained in the required readings needed to complete the discussion posts and quizzes in this module. Thank you.